Muscle growth has two parts. Number one, creating the stress that disrupts the comfort zone. And number two, allowing our body to recover from it and improve. In the quest for gains, most people only focus on the first part of the equation, training. But optimizing recovery can make a massive difference for the rate of muscle and strength gains. Why? I absolutely hated math in high school, but this is best explained with a graph. The horizontal line here represents stress. The vertical line represents marginal gains or losses. The area above the line represents gains, and the area under the line represents losses. Thank you. This is maintenance, either not working out at all or doing a training routine you are adapted to. If you add in a small amount of training, 1 unit, you get a small amount of gains as a return. But we know that strength and muscle gains go up linearly with the amount of training we do and can recover from. So why stop there? If you add 2 units of training, you get even better progress. Add 1 more and again you see an increase. Add 1 more and again you see an increase in gains, but this time smaller than the previous increase. It's like with everything in life. The first few inputs bring the largest benefit, and as you become more advanced, you have to work harder and harder and harder for less. At some point though, if you add another unit of training, you actually start going backwards. And the reason for that is because this point is where your recovery can no longer cover the stress of training. Some people call this point maximum recoverable volume. This is the most work you can recover from, and this will also give you the maximum amount of gains. After this point, each unit increase of stress starts negating a unit of gains. So more is better, but only up to a point. A study by Gonzalez-Badillo showed this very nicely. They looked at young, healthy, well-trained, competitive male weightlifters performing 3 levels of volume on the back squat, snatch, clean and jerk, and accessory lifts for 10 weeks. One group performed 1923 reps, another 2481 reps, and the last group 3030 reps. All groups progressed in strength, but the moderate volume group progressed the most. This suggests that progress has a linear relationship with volume up to a point. If you can handle more training, you will benefit from more training. But when you overshoot your recovery capacity, doing more training actually has negative effects. Alright, I kinda get it. But why is recovery important? Because recovery determines where this point sits on the graph. If you get little sleep and are stressed all the time, it could be back here. This means you can handle less training and as a result make less gains. On the other hand, if you have great recovery, the point could be here. This means you can handle more work or have better quality workouts, which means you get better gains. This is what we'll discuss in this video. How to improve your recovery to be able to handle more work and to have better performance using low volume routines. And also, this was the longest intro we've ever seen. Thank you.
If you want to be a champion, you cannot have any kind of an outside negative force that can have a negative effect on my mind and therefore destroy my workouts. If somebody steals my car rights outside of my door right now, I don't care. You know, I can be bothered with that. The only thing I will do is have my secretary call the insurance agency and I laugh about it.
An important factor to keep in mind is that your body reacts to all types of stress very similarly. Although lifting weights, the death of a loved one, or tight deadlines at work are different, our body copes with them using the same reservoir of resources. In other words, mental stress can actually make you physically weaker because it uses the same reservoir of recovery. This was shown in a 2014 study in which participants did 6 sets of leg press to failure. The group with low life stress was recovered and back to full strength 2 days later. On the other hand, the group with high stress took 4 days to recover to baseline. They also reported more soreness and fatigue following the same workout. For maximum gains, you'd live your life like a monk, completely free of stress. That's probably why Batman did so well training with the League of Shadows. But you probably still need your job. So, to minimize stress while not changing your life too much, follow these tips. Avoid arguments of any kind. A waitress spilled some coffee on you? Oh well, it happens. Someone cut you off in traffic? Some people are jerks. Your TV stopped working? Stay calm, you probably have warranty anyway. The point is, recognize that you create most of the anger in your life and choose to be tolerant instead. Feeling overwhelmed by tasks is one of the biggest causes of stress. To minimize this, use to-do lists. Get your thoughts out of your mind and put them on paper. Related to the previous point, procrastination creates lots of anxiety. A great way to beat procrastination is the Ivy Lee method. You basically create a to-do list where you list the most important 6 tasks you have to do in the order of importance. Start your day with the first task and don't move to the next one until it's finished. This takes away the anxiety of a fixed schedule while still maintaining productivity. Constantly worrying about what other people are doing or what they think of you is very stressful. Use social media to keep up with your friends, but don't spend a lot of time there. Deloads are planned decreases in training volume and intensity with the purpose of improving recovery. The most common form of deloading is having a week of very easy training once every 3 to 6 weeks of heavy training. Now, I'm sorry, but to understand how deloads work, we're gonna have to use a chart again. Oh, no, I'm fine, no. This is the fitness fatigue model. It's a great way to visually represent the effect of an individual training session. Any workout creates an increase in both fitness and fatigue, and our performance is equal to fitness minus fatigue. Come on, it's not that hard. After a training session, fatigue increases faster than fitness. For example, you do a workout. At the end of the workout, your fitness has actually increased, but you're also very tired. Because fatigue masks that increase in fitness, your performance is worse than it was at the beginning of the workout. So that's why if I benched heavy today, I can do it again tomorrow. Exactly. You must rest. The great thing is, fatigue also decreases faster than fitness. If you rest a few days, fatigue goes down, but fitness stays elevated. Now fatigue no longer masks fitness, so your performance will be better than it was the previous workout. If you're doing things right, this is the evolution you'd see in your training. Now, as you get more advanced, the increase in fitness you see after a training session gets smaller and smaller. Also, you have to do more training to get those small improvements. Because of this, it becomes necessary to train when you still have some residual fatigue from the previous workouts. If you waited until fatigue went down completely, fitness would decrease too much as well, and our performance would increase very slowly. So while you're increasing fitness over many workouts, you accumulate fatigue as well. By taking a week of light training, you allow that residual fatigue to go down while maintaining most of your fitness. Because of this, your performance will be increased once you resume heavy training again. And that's the purpose of a deload. Now, here's how I recommend you deload. For a week of training, reduce the number of sets for each exercise by 1 or 2, and use the same weights but do only half the reps you usually do. For example, 3 sets of 6 with 200 pounds becomes 2 sets of 3 with 200 pounds. And this is why people don't care about sleep. It's so boring! Show me some workouts! Sleep more to improve recovery. Wow, you don't say, Sherlock. Everybody knows that. But something you probably don't know is just how much sleep matters. In a study from 2011, 10 subjects were put on a 700 calorie deficit and split between 2 groups. One group slept an average of 5.5 hours per night, and the other group 8.5 hours per night for 14 days. As you'd expect, both groups lost the same amount of weight because the calorie deficit was the same. But there was a huge difference in terms of body composition. The high sleep group lost about 80% fat and 20% lean mass, and the low sleep group lost 40% fat and 60% lean mass. Now, a limitation of the study is that the subjects did not lift weights. That's true. If they trained, they would have definitely maintained muscle better. but the low sleep group would have lost more lean mass anyway. Lack of sleep creates a catabolic environment, and it also slows down muscle growth because it decreases testosterone and IGF-1. So, sleep more. There are also things you can do to improve sleep quality. One of the best is to avoid blue light exposure before bed. Our TVs, computers and smartphones emit blue light, which tricks our brain into thinking it's still daytime. Because of this, the brain doesn't produce enough melatonin, which is the hormone that's supposed to induce sleepiness. This is one of the reasons why we can be very tired but not sleepy. To fix this, you have two options. Either don't use electronics 1 hour before bed, or stop your screens from producing blue light. For computers, install a program called F-Lux. This will make your screen yellowish because it stops blue light. On iPhones, you have this option built in the display settings. And on Android, install an app called Twilight. And another great tip, go to bed with a clear mind. If you're anxious about something you have to do tomorrow, you won't sleep well. When that happens, journal before sleep. Take your thoughts out of your head and put them on paper. This will eliminate confusion and help you relax.
But can we even talk about muscle recovery without BS supplements? Introducing the new W Rebirth. Just 2 of these babies a day and your recovery will make Wolverine jealous.
Oh, come on, Dr. Scammer Max, we don't have time for that. You'll see a lot of supplements claim to improve recovery. Most of them are scams. One of the few that's actually worth your money is creatine. This is the most studied molecule in sports nutrition and it has been shown to improve both muscle recovery and growth. 5 grams of creatine monohydrate per day will help you recover slightly better. So, in conclusion of this super long video, to improve recovery, do these 5 points. Number 1, train below your maximum recoverable volume. Number 2, use deloads periodically. Number 3, eliminate as much stress as you can from your life. Number 4, get plenty of good sleep. And number 5, take creatine. Hey, this is Radu again. Thanks for watching this video. The information I shared here came from the ebooks The Science and Art of Lifting by Greg Nuckols and Omar Isaf. I recommend you check those out. Also, if you're looking for a complete program for getting lean, I recommend my Shred Smart program. For more videos like this one, make sure that you subscribe.